Happy Thursday, everybody. I recently read a quote from the great preacher Charles Spurgeon. It says, "If sinners be damned, at least let them leap to hell over our dead bodies. And if they perish, let them perish with our arms wrapped about their knees, imploring them to stay. If hell must be filled, let it be filled with the teeth of our exertions, and let not one go unwarned and unprayed for." When we're talking about the gospel of Jesus Christ, we are called to go and spread the gospel to all nations, to every person. But what happens once we spread the gospel to one person? As we're going by and doing our work and fulfilling the Great Commission, we're going to come around and see that person once again. That could be a family member, that could be your best friend. We're still called to disciple. We're still called to share the gospel with them. But it's not just a checklist that we're going through. What Charles Spurgeon is saying here is we need to be persistent in sharing the gospel. We need to keep the conversation going for those we have already spread the gospel to. They need to hear our words. They need to see our actions. They need to see the light shining in us so that they may come to God. Listen to these couple verses that I have for you today. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58, it says, "Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain." So when we're looking at sharing the gospel to people, we need to be steadfast. We need to be faithful in doing that. When we're talking to our friends and family, keep bringing it up, because one day it might just click. One day they're going to hear Jesus knocking on their hearts, and then they're going to come and say, "Hey, what must I do to be saved?" So be persistent in your work. And as it says at the bottom of here, if you desire to glorify God, your labor is not in vain. Know that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. We're not working for our glory, but if we're working to glorify God in everything we do, then God is going to be glorified. Also take a look at Jude verses 22 and 23. It says, "Have mercy on those who doubt. Save others by snatching them out of the fire. To others show mercy with fear, hating even the garment stained by the flesh." It is so important that we share the gospel with other people. Just like Charles Spurgeon said, if people must go to hell, let them go over our dead bodies. We should prioritize sharing the gospel because it is only the good news of Jesus Christ, his death and his resurrection, and the forgiveness that we have in it, that is going to give eternal life. There is no other name by which we can be saved under heaven, but only that of Jesus Christ. So when we go and spread the gospel, do so and be persistent, always sharing with loved ones, with friends and family.